Gentleman's time has expired. Now recognize Mr. Harris for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Madam Secretary, what a joy it is to have you here today, and we're certainly honored to have you, and thank you for your time and your patience and endurance through such a long hearing. But Madam Secretary, the ongoing avian flu outbreak has led to the loss of over 174 million birds since 2022. It's been a plague on the industry for too long, and I frankly have heard positive feedback from the broilers and layers in my district in regards to your 5-point plan. In fact, one of the things I've heard here from my colleagues, in this being my freshman term, is that you are probably the most qualified individual to serve as Secretary of Agriculture that we have had in the last generation. So USDA has outlined a $1 billion plan with $500 million for farm biosecurity and $400 million for producer relief. Can you elaborate more on how these funds are being targeted to strengthen farm-level preparedness?
Yeah, I would really appreciate that. Thank you for those really nice words. Since we rolled out the plan, we have done almost 850 biosecurity assessments, so meaning we go onto the farms and help the farmers ensure that the barns are locked down. That is clearly the #1 and best and most effective way to stop the HPAI is the biosecurity. So we've done about 830 of those. We've spent a lot of money on indemnity, about $70 million to repopulate the barns, to get the chickens back into laying form very, very quickly. We have been importing some eggs while we repopulate, which has allowed the prices to come down. And then, of course, the $100 million focused on a long-term solution, which hopefully we can get to in the short term. I'm not sure that there's been anything more heartbreaking to me in the 118 days since I was confirmed than visiting with some of these egg farmers who have lost their life. And I know there's some, there's this narrative that, oh, they just want the money and the depop. That's not it. These farmers who basically have generational egg laying farms have lost everything. And so I remain committed to them. I've visited with a lot of them around the country over the last 100+ days. And anything they're seeing that's not working, we'd love to know, but we're proud of the work so far.
Great. Well, can you share more about how efforts to right-size the U.S. agriculture trade imbalance will actually aid the industry's recovery and stabilize the egg supply we've talked about?
Yeah, I think that the trade, with specifics to trade, I was in the first Trump administration. I was in the West Wing with the president every day for the second, third, and fourth year. I ran the domestic policy agenda. I obviously have always believed in his vision of realigning the world and that America has been taken advantage of. What I didn't realize until this job is just how big the disparity is and how our country has been so taken advantage of year after year, decade after decade. And so the president's focus for us in the ag community, as again, uncertain as his time is and as hard as it is, especially on some of our row croppers, at the end of the day, just around the corner is a new day. And when we left the first Trump administration, there was a trade surplus for ag. After 4 years of Joe Biden, it's a $50 billion trade deficit, money directly out of our farmers' pockets. We are going to fix that. When we do, that will significantly help all of our ag producers, but certainly the ones in your district and the broiler and chicken industry hopefully will be just as helped as everybody else.
Gotcha. And one final question. As you know, timely access to credit is essential for producers, especially during a downturn in the farm economy. I oftentimes hear from both lenders and producers about the length of time it takes to process loans. And given the President's strong commitment to reducing the size of government and reducing regulations, can you share any efforts that the department is making to kind of speed up this process?
I talk about how the 118 days have been filled with a lot of surprises,
right.
Both good and bad. And on the second part of that, the bad side is just how stunningly bad this agency has been at reacting, at helping, at supporting, and moving out some of these programs. Some of those loan programs are at the very top of the list. We have brought in a team of formerly private, very successful industry bankers, et cetera, that can help us recalibrate the whole program. And I think that's really, really important. We can't do our job and we can't do right by these farmers under the current situation that we inherited.
Well, thank you again, and again, from the 8th District of North Carolina, we hear great things and
Thank you.
a lot of excitement about things moving forward.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Mr. Chairman, I yield back my time.